Following the attack on Gulu Central Police Station on Sunday night, one name has gained prominence: Dan Ola Odia. Security agencies claim that the assailants made a daring move to rescue Ola, who was detained at the police station for alleged subversive activities. Odia is the Deputy Secretary for Mobilization in Olara Otunnu's faction of opposition party, the Uganda People's Congress. Shortly after Odia's arrest last week, Otunnu was among the first people to visit him in detention.
When Dan Ola Odia had finished his business in town, was about to hop on a border to return home, and suddenly somebody taps him on the shoulder and says, "Could you step aside? I want to have a word with you." He doesn't know the person. Then the person says, "Please sit down." He says, "Why are you asking me to sit down?" And the gentleman immediately pulls a pistol, cocks it, and says, "I'll shoot you if you don't comply."
Odia, a former leader of the Acholi Makerere University Students Association in 2000, was accused of having a hand in the attack last month on a local defense unit detached in Opit, Gulu district, where 2 were killed and a number of guns taken. A security source told NTV that Odia's phone communication was tracked after the Opit raid. Police reportedly wants him to explain the coded words he used, but Otunnu says Odia's rights have been over-violated.
If you have arrested somebody on whatever suspicions, you must charge them in a court of law. You cannot hold them indefinitely, as has happened in this case. I think the Police Act provides for 48 hours, which expired.
Perhaps non-surprisingly, Jimmy Akena's UPC faction that is engaged in a bitter war of supremacy with Otunnu's group disowned Odia and his actions.
The position which is coming up, that is Assistant National Mobilizer of UPC, he does not hold any such position. But they went in that group with Olara Otunnu and joined to Go Forward. And they were actually in the campaign task force of the Go Forward Babazi, headed by Olara Otunnu.
Dan Ola is not so prominent in the political circles of Uganda. Now, the Sunday incident in Gulu town, which security agents relate with his arrest and detention, leaves a big question as to whether Odia was worth a war which also led to loss of lives.
That is what we want to know from the government.
The events were also remain set of an incident at dawn on 16 September 2002. A group of UPDF officers commanded by the then Lieutenant Colonel Otema Awani, now Brigadier, raided Gulu Central Prison, fired their way inside, shot and killed a prisoner, Peter Oloya. The security team was reportedly acting on intelligence that LRA rebels were in an advanced plot to rescue an inmate, a rebel suspect, Peter Oloya, popularly known as Yumbe. Civil society activist and human rights lawyer Nicholas Opio, who was then a student, closely followed these matters.
Unsubstantiated accusation of rebel groups being recruited and massive operations to arrest, incarcerate people conducted by security forces.
Later, MPs Regan Okumu and Livingstone Okello sued government in Gulu High Court over Yumbe's killing. The Gulu resident judge, now retired Augustus Kania, ruled in their favor, saying, among other things, the late Peter Oloya was shot in cold blood on the orders of Lieutenant Colonel Otema Awani, concluding thus his killing was therefore not accidental. Opio feels that in the latest attack, the explanation by security agents don't add up.
What I do think is in dispute is the narratives around that incident, the opaque nature in which this matter is being discussed and presented, the choreographed presentation of facts.
For over 2 decades, Northern Uganda, actually sub-region in particular, bore the brunt of the LRA war. Opio says Sunday's events reawakened these sad memories. According to Opio, the situation could best be captured by the saying that in war, the truth is always the first casualty. Solomon Kawesa, NTV.